Shalom everyone. Did it ever happen to you that you wanted or needed to do something, a certain act? You had the desire, you had the knowledge, you had the ability, you knew how to do it, you wanted to do it. You tried to do it. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. Whatever effort that you put, you had the desire to do it, you had the ability to do it, you wanted to do that action, but it didn't work out. And as a result, things didn't work out in the ways that you wanted. And you come to that point that you're saying, I wish I could start all over again. I wish I could do it again. Maybe a second chance or a third chance to some situations. And you just wish that you had that opportunity. Let me just do it one more time. Let me get it together this time, and I want to do it the right way. Because you have the desire, you have the ability, you have everything. For whatever reason, you weren't able to do it. And you really wish you could have either started all over or do it in a different way, or just do it this time. Finally, one time to do it. So, the reason I'm asking you that is because next Monday is Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is Judgment Day, where Hashem is going to look down at every creature in this world, human beings, animals, vegetations, and decide what's going to be its fate for the next coming year. Who's going to die, who's going to live, who's going to be poor, who's going to be rich, like the prayer that we recite on Rosh Hashanah. Everything is decided on Rosh Hashanah. We have 48 hours next week to stand in front of our Creator and pray and wish and hope that He would bless us with everything that we need for the next coming year. The last month of Elul was the month for us to prepare for that day. I went online live a month ago in Florida, preparing what needs to be done this month. We need to do tshuva, we need to fix things up, we need to clear things, we need to ask forgiveness, we need to pay debts, we need to introspect of everything that I didn't do last year that I want to do the next year. What did I do wrong last year so I can do it better next year? A lot of work, which I actually hope that some of you have listened and applied, because I know that most people listen, they don't apply, they don't do. And this year I started the month of Elul by asking everybody, follow the teachings, do a change, make a change, because that's how you want to walk into Rosh Hashanah. Being 3 days before Rosh Hashanah, everything that is said, that's already in the past. What you did is great. What you haven't done, then you haven't done. You have about 3-4 days before Rosh Hashanah to maybe change something in your life, in your path. But the reason I'm recording this video, because I hate missing opportunities. And it happens to me many times that I want to do something, that I want to achieve something, that I have my mind set on a certain goal, that I have an idea, that I have something that I want to get better at. I have many goals and aspirations, and not all of them I'm able to do. And not because I don't want to or I don't have the tools, because sometimes I don't put enough of my effort into it. Maybe not realizing how much I need it or how much I want it. I always look for opportunities, and it doesn't matter if it's for the first time or second or third. Many times I miss a certain thing in my life, and I'm waiting for the second opportunity to come, because Hashem is so kind that He's always going to give you a second opportunity, another opportunity to fix. So today we have an unbelievable opportunity, because Rosh Hashanah is this coming Monday, right after Shabbat. That means that this Shabbat is the last Shabbat of the year. So the last 51 Shabbatot of the year, you wanted to observe Shabbat, maybe you did observe the Shabbat, but you wanted to do it a little bit better. You wanted to wake up in the morning and go to the minyan and go to listen to the Torah reading and have the festive meals and do many things. And not only on Shabbat, with everything, but now let's focus on Shabbat for 1 second. Ask yourself, how was your last 51 or 52 Shabbatot of the year? Normally there's 53, but with leap years sometimes. But let's just, for the sake of the question, ask yourself, how was your last 51, 52, 53 Shabbatot? How was all the last Shabbatot of the last year? Was it to your satisfaction? Were you able to observe the Shabbat the right way? Were you able to focus on what needs to be done? I'll ask you something even more important. Have you felt the powerful energy of Shabbat penetrating your neshama and bestowing peace on it for the rest of the week? Happiness, health, energy, good thoughts from your Shabbat observance? So, whether your Shabbat observance you rate it as a 10 in the last year, or whether it's a 0, or wherever you rate your Shabbat, at this point it doesn't really matter. What matters is that it can only always be better. No such thing that you have ever reached perfect, pure, highest level of perfection. If you think that you reach to that level of perfection, then you have a lot of work to do on yourself, because you will never reach to a level of perfection. And when you do, then you finish your journey in this world and you're ready to leave. So I will talk about myself to give over the concept. When I look back at the last year, I don't give myself such a high grade in my Shabbat observance. It could have been done much better. It could have been done with a lot more focus, with a lot more love, with a lot more excitement, with a lot of other things. I look at myself and I know where I'm holding. The point that I'm trying to make is that you need to look back at your last year and ask yourself if your Shabbat observance was to the level that you need to get to. And if you come to the conclusion that you're doing great, then that's where I step in and I tell you, you might have been doing great. Most likely you haven't, but now you need to do much more than that. Don't tap yourself on the back that you were that great. The main message I want to tell you today, that this is the last Shabbat of the year. So whatever you missed throughout the entire year, wanted to achieve, you had the desire, the aspiration, the goals, you wanted to do it, but you haven't. So this Shabbat, you have the opportunity to catch up, to show Hashem, I missed it the last few months, I missed it the last few years, but let me show you how I want it to be. Let me show you, Hashem, how I want my Shabbat to actually be. Take this Shabbat and make it an example to Hashem, how you want to show Hashem, that's how I want my Shabbat to be. I want to have guests at my table, and my Shabbat table, and I want to learn Torah and speak the words of Torah at the Shabbat table, and have amazing food and eat the meals, the Shabbat meals, and pray and learn and focus and meditate and read and show Hashem this Shabbat how you would want your Shabbat to be, because the Zohar says that Shabbat is the source that blesses everything. The Zohar says that the Shabbat blesses the week after. Kulu yamin mitbarchin minem, which means that this coming Monday, Rosh Hashanah, is going to be blessed by this Shabbat. Normally, before the Rosh Chodesh, we celebrate what's called the Shabbat Mevarchim. The Shabbat before the Rosh Chodesh, it's a special Shabbat. We bless the month, and we add all sorts of prayers. On Tishrei, we don't have a Shabbat Mevarchim. We do not do that. We don't do Shabbat Mevarchim this Shabbat for the month of Tishrei. But nevertheless, this Shabbat is what blesses not only the next month, not only that blesses the Rosh Hashanah, which is in the next week. Sorry, I meant this next week, not the next month. So let me repeat. This Shabbat, not only that it blesses this Shabbat, it blesses the coming week that is coming. Since Rosh Hashanah is in the coming week, so it's blessing Rosh Hashanah. And it's, so to say, your last opportunity of the year to show Hashem, I have failed in many attempts in the last year to do many good things that I wanted to do. This one I will not. This one I will do as perfect as it should be, and as perfect as I want it to be. How I see myself in that level. So it's a very powerful Shabbat. And a point that you need to take is, what you do during the Shabbat, it rolls over to the next week. So when you center yourself and you in a very focused way bring a lot of blessing to you on Shabbat by prayer, by meditation, by eating the 3 meals and blessing and everything else, then you roll over all this wealth, all this blessing for the next week. And that's really the energy, the engine, the fuel for the next week. Since Rosh Hashanah falls in the middle of next week, then this Shabbat blesses Rosh Hashanah. It designs it. It adds to it. So the short message that I wanted to give over is, first of all, it's never too late. There's always another opportunity. I know a majority of my listeners have listened to my class in the beginning of Elul saying, don't waste your month. I know you're going to wake up in 3-4 weeks saying, oh my gosh, Rosh Hashanah is next week. What have I done? I haven't done anything. So there's always a second chance. There's always another opportunity. Hashem always keeps the door open for you to walk through it, but you need to walk through it. And even if it's the last minute, even if it's the last Shabbat, even if you haven't done anything this month of Elul, not one prayer, not one chapter of Tehillim, not 1 ounce of tshuva, then start this Shabbat. Do your tshuva before Shabbat. Take 10 minutes out of your time. Look back at the entire year, introspective everything that you did, where you can get better, where can you climb higher, what you can remove from your path that will stop you from becoming a much better person. Sit and evaluate the situation. I know you want to be on Instagram or whatever other junk that you want to be on, but take 10 minutes out of your life to focus on that. You can make a huge change in your life, especially in the beginning of the year when we all want to be blessed in Rosh Hashanah. So I hope you understand the depth, I hope you understand the opportunity, and I hope you're actually going to apply this Shabbat, that you prepare yourself before Shabbat. You can go to, if you're a man, go to the mikveh, wash yourself, take a shower, wear beautiful white clothes, do tshuva before Shabbat, give some money to charity, pray, focus, meditate on Hashem, ask Him to help you grow, ask Him to give you the tools to become a better person, ask Him to bless you with peace and happiness in your heart that you can serve Him the best way. Don't have to ask Him for money. You don't have to ask Him for anything physical. Hashem knows what you need. Ask Him to be a better person. Ask Him to help you become a much more refined individual. Tell Hashem you want to reach to the level where you need to be. Everything else, Hashem is going to give you what you need in the right amount that you need. You need right now to come closer to Hashem. So take this Shabbat as a very special Shabbat. It might even be your first Shabbat that you're observing. And it might not be perfect, but it's the desire to do something right for Hashem that makes the big difference. So even if your Shabbat is not perfect this Shabbat, but the mindset, the desire, Hashem, I want to do it the right way. I want to come close to you. Because when we observe Shabbat the right way, we just come closer to Hashem. That's the tool. If we would understand that all our success and everything good in our life comes from Hashem, then that makes perfect sense that if I want more goodness in my life, then I need to be more close to Hashem. That's it. It's very simple. The closer you are to the light, the brighter everything seems. So take this Shabbat as a very powerful opportunity to jump to the next level and forget about everything that you missed the last year. Don't look back, look forward, take this opportunity, observe the Shabbat, follow whatever needs to be done, pray to Hashem to give you everything that you need in order to serve Him in the best way possible. And I wish for you to have an amazing, peaceful Shabbat, and this powerful peace and happiness that you can achieve on Shabbat, I bless you and I wish for you to carry that throughout the entire year. And that's why Shabbat is so special, because Shabbat brings peace into your hearts. And if you do it the right way throughout the entire week, you are at peace and you're focused. So take the opportunity, the last Shabbat of the year, do it right, do whatever you need to do. After Shabbat, Motzei Shabbat, I'm going to Tveria, to the grave of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. I'm going to pray their slichot. We wanted to broadcast it, but it's going to be Shabbat in America, so I don't want to broadcast something and have people desecrate the Shabbat by watching it. But Sunday, I'm going to be in Meron by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's grave. At night, at 12 a.m., I'm going to do slichot there, and we're going to broadcast that. I apologize for the failure on Thursday. It just didn't work out there. There's a lot of security going on around the Kotel, and one of the things that they do is they scramble the internet. So it just didn't work out. Mina Shamayim. But I promise you that since I can't do it tomorrow, then I'll do it on Sunday from Meron. And I am going to have a little class in Meron. We're going to broadcast it live with some last little things that you need to focus on before Rosh Hashanah. But the most important thing for me right now to repeat is just use the Shabbat. Use the Shabbat the right way to elevate yourself, to get yourself closer to Hashem, that Hashem can and will bless you in the next coming year with an amazing year. And I wish you that Hashem should give you everything that you need in order to serve Him in the best way possible this next coming year. And all the rest Hashem is just going to give you exactly what you need. You just focus on your closeness to Hashem and how you need to refine yourself. I want to bless you again with a Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, Gmar Chatima Tova. I will wish you my Rosh Hashanah blessing already on Sunday. Now we're just going to focus on Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to be praying in all these holy places, so if you wish to submit names for me to pray on your behalf, then use the link beneath this video, or just go to atzmut.org/Rosh Hashanah, and you can submit the names over there. I'm going to be praying by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and by Rabbi Meir. And even if you don't submit your names, I pray for everybody, and I pray for you to be successful in your new journey, and that Hashem should bless you, that this journey should be amazing, fulfilling, exciting, and that you should reach your goal. And the next coming year, when you're going to look back at the year, you're going to be like, wow, I grew so much. Thanks to the fact that I don't give up. And thanks to the fact that I know that Hashem is always going to open the door and accept me. And thanks to the fact that Hashem is such loving Hashem that He's just sitting and waiting. So don't make Him wait anymore. Do His thing. Have a wonderful Shabbat. Have a restful Shabbat. And Bezrat Hashem, I'll see you Sunday. Shabbat Shalom. And may you have a wonderful, peaceful Shabbat. All the best from Eretz Israel.